Hi, I'm Irene, and this is my second subscription box from TRUPHAE. It is for April 2023, and right off the bat, I'm really pleased to see that there is tape securing the box. That was a complaint I had about the previous box I received, was that there was no tape on it securing it closed, so Now, I really don't know if that's something that they normally do and they just forgot on my box last time. So, who knows? I'm just really glad to see that it was taped and secured this time. Now, first of all, the ink. I do not have any Visconti products, and I understand they make some really nice high-end fountain pens. I haven't heard much about their inks, so I don't even know if I knew that they made inks. So I was surprised to see a bottle of Visconti ink. Now, at first look, it reminded me of another ink that I have, the color, Iroshizuku Chikurine, which is another kind of bright green color. So I was kind of excited to see how it would compare to the Chikurine. But more on that later. The pen is a Kaweco Perkio, and it came with an empty ink cartridge and a full ink cartridge. And I decided to put the Visconti ink. And, I can't not comment on this. Those close-ups on my nails are brutal. Was this after I had a snack date with a bag of Cheetos? I honestly don't recall. Regardless, I apologize if it puts anyone off. By the way, the Visconti ink is called the Novel Reader. And I decided to put that into the empty cartridge and insert that in. And something interesting about when you put the barrel back on and screw it closed, it has, I don't know how to describe it, a little bit of resistance. So when you close it, that last bit, it's kind of a slow, very satisfying closure. And it feels very secure. Sorry, off the top of my head, I don't remember what size nib that was. I'll try and remember to include that in a caption. Now, this isn't my first experience with Kaweco Perkio. Producer Mike got himself a Perkio not too long ago, and I did fill that and test it out for him. And his pen was fine. I didn't have any strong feelings about it. It wasn't the best pen I'd used. It wasn't the worst pen I'd used, and didn't really have any strong feelings or complaints about that. And even in the footage here in this video, the demonstration I do with this ink, I didn't really have any issues with the pen itself, but I do have some thoughts about the ink, and I'll talk about that later. But I do want to mention that after this footage was taken, I am recording this voiceover a couple of weeks after this footage was taken. So I have more experience with using the pen. And I have discovered that I have some issues with this pen. And I think it's mainly to do with the nib. Now, like I said, in this demonstration, it seemed to work fine. But since then, I have had some real issues with it not wanting to work. And I've tried with this feeler gauges and so forth, trying to tweak the nib that way. I'm not an expert on nibs, so that's about as comfortable as I feel as far as tweaking a nib is just to use the feeler gauges. And that hasn't really helped. So just to be a little more clear, I had set the pen aside for a few days, and then I had refilled the cartridge with a different ink, and I gave it time to saturate the feed and so forth, and I even squeezed the plastic cartridge to kind of get the ink down in there too. And I could not get it to write well at all. Now, I have a number of pens at this point, and I have not had as much trouble with any of those other pens as I did with this pen. And like I said, I think it's mainly the nib that's the issue. Either the nib or the feed system. I don't really know. But yeah, I was not happy. I was disappointed. Especially since I have tried the Kaweco Perkio, a different one, same model, that did not have these issues. So those are my thoughts on the pen. Now, regarding the ink, now I did mention Iroshizuku's Chikurine, which is a lovely green, fresh, grassy green color, and that one was kind of pushing it a bit for me as far as saturation. I don't need an ink to be like super dark and contrasty, but I do like to be able to read what I've written. And this Visconti's The Novel Reader, I felt was just really too unsaturated. It was very light, pale. I think the color is cool, but yeah, I don't see myself using this for writing. So yeah, it made me think of celery water, and that's why I drew some celery stalks there. But you can see on the brush swatch that it is a lovely color. Like I said, I just don't see myself using it to write with. Now, and I did want to show a comparison between the Chikurine and the Novel Reader, so you can see for yourself what a big difference it is there in value. So basically, I was not happy with these items. Now, I was really happy with the first box, not happy with the second box, and I guess you could say it's a wash then, right? Yeah, I guess. Which just kind of reinforces my personal ambivalence towards subscription boxes. You get what you get. It's a mystery. It could be good. It could not be good. And in my opinion, something like this is, and I said this in the previous video, something like this you want to do for the experience, for the surprise, for the mystery of it, and trying something that you might not have necessarily tried otherwise. So, depending on how much value you put on the experience over, say, the quality of the items or how well they suit you personally, that's going to vary. How do they say it? Your mileage may vary. Anywho, I'm happy to share this experience, and I hope that you got something from it as well. So, until next time, stay inky, my friends.